Turning, looking,
It is September baseball from the worst stadium in all of sports. It's the Yankees versus the Tampa Bay Rays. It's been an up and down season, but the Yankees enter September in the driver's seat. Win and you control your own destiny. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night.
It's just a reaction.
Goodness gracious! This is Yankees Game Night.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Manscaped, the world leader in male grooming products. Visit manscaped.com and use the code NYY Recaps at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. They've got everything from razors to body sprays to boxer shorts, and it's all great, and I vouch for them 100%. Visit manscaped.com, use the code NYY Recaps, 20% off and free shipping. For those of you tuning in to get a rant tonight, I'm sorry, best I can do is a eulogy. If you believe, though, in the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics, there does exist a reality somewhere out there in the multiverse where this game never even happened. So you can take solace in that. That's where I want to be. Welcome to exciting, spellbinding September baseball, everybody. To be fair, though, it was a tough matchup for the Yankees. They played a Major League Baseball team. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I went through the roof before the game even started when I saw the lineup card. Absolutely blew my mind that the Yankees called up Peraza and then stuck him right on the bench. The way that this organization handles prospects is laughable. He did end up pinch hitting when you're down 9-0 with 2 outs in the ninth. I'm sure that really got the adrenaline going. I'll tell you, nothing instills confidence in a young player like putting them on the bench in their first Major League game and then watching the team get drubbed 9-0. Future ex-Yankees manager Aaron Boone did say that Peraza could start tomorrow, but he also said that IKF is the starting shortstop, which is also laughable. Oh, what a night.
From there on out, things just got worse.
All right, on to the game. There wasn't much good to talk about. The main takeaway for me was that the Yankees left a million guys on base. And their pitching was so bad, especially at the end of the game, that Marwin Gonzalez ended up pitching in the 8th inning. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. 2 runners on in the first and stranded them both. Same thing in the 3rd inning. 2 men on, both stranded. Also in the 3rd inning, more good news. You see it on your screen. Andrew Benintendi took a swing and ended up hurting his hand. He had to come out of the game. He went for x-rays. They were negative, so that's good. He said he heard a pop, though, so that's bad. That could be a number of different things. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. Mark Teixeira tore a tendon sheath that way. Career was never the same. It's a joke that this team doesn't have any good outfield prospects ready to go. And don't tell me Estevan Florial. We saw him. He can't hit. Why do all of our prospects have to be shortstops or teenagers that are multiple years away? That's 100% on Cashman and the crack squad of player development personnel. More good news, Josh Donaldson couldn't catch the ball or throw the ball tonight, or hit it for that matter. He made consecutive errors in the 4th inning. On the second one, he threw it down the right field line. Oswaldo Cabrera, who came into the game for Benintendi, he wasn't in the starting lineup either, threw the runner out at home. So that was a nice play. Next batter was Peralta, and he knocked in a run to make it 1-0 for the Rays, and that's all they needed. Top 5, IKF led off the inning with a double off the top of the wall, but never advanced. Yankees stranded 2 more in the 6th. Bottom 7, 2-run home run from Christian Betancourt made it 3-0 Rays, and then the Rays tacked on a tidy 6 runs in the 8th inning. Errors, walks with the bases loaded, line drives all over the ballpark. Boone had to go to utility man Marwin Gonzalez to get the final out on the mound. The Yankees were completely overmatched tonight. But besides that, Mrs. Kennedy, how was the parade? Rays win 9-0. Roldy says, I know you're the biggest fandom, but you can't even make an excuse at this point. I don't have an excuse. Thank you for the dono. I want to play some music. We'll get some music going. At least that'll liven things up a bit. Robbie NV says, call up the Bad News Bears. They can play better. How great was the Bad News Bears movie? Earl of Demise says they're going to screw Oswald's development. Why the hell would you pinch hit his first at bat? And that was a spit in the face of all fans. Appreciate the dono, Earl. I totally agree. At that point, 9-0. Just let him wait till tomorrow. His parents are coming tomorrow. Don't you think they want to see him get his first major league at bat? No, let's stick him in 9-0 with 2 outs in the 9th. That'll do it. That'll get the kid's blood flowing. Are you kidding me? Aaron Boone with this. Ryan P says, glorified AAA team right now. Overpaid losers. MG says, time to make a KFC bucket sacrifice to Jobu. I love it. Major League reference. Landon Thompson says, am I the only one who just wants to watch it burn where Howe and Cashman can just leave and never come back? Pathetic. I'm sure you're not one of the only ones. Look, I'm always going to root for the Yankees. Every time I turn on the game, I don't want to spend 3 hours watching a loss and recapping a loss for a half an hour afterwards and building a show for a loss. I want the Yankees to win, but they got to show more effort than they did tonight. I actually got to say, Domingo Germán pitched pretty well. Ran out of gas a little bit, but it wasn't his fault. He was solid. That was a solid performance. The offense just continues to suck. They get shut out, it seems, once or twice a week. Dion says IKF should play third base. I agree. As a third baseman, his defense was unreal. He won the Gold Glove. As a shortstop, not so much. Donaldson has been pretty good on defense this year, but tonight, you're watching it on your screen now, just abysmal. Double clutches there, throws it away. DJ LeMahieu had some trouble with it at first base, but, that's not really his fault. It's on Donaldson there. By the way, DJ looks hurt. I mean, it just doesn't look the same. I haven't gotten to wear my fun hat in a while. This is tough. Ray Anderson says, season is officially over. I love Boone, but he's done. If the Yankees blow this 15.5 game lead, you have no choice but to fire Boone. No choice. And no choice but to fire Cashman. Because, well, he's not under contract officially, but he didn't go for it at the deadline. He got Frankie Montas. Come on. Jay Sino says, what is this team, Derek? It is a train wreck in slow motion. It's like 100 train wreck pileup in slow motion. The Law of Divine Oneness says Germán pitched his heart out again, by the way, and the Yankees offense was a no-show yet again. Agreed. Eric says, this guy Ken Waldichuk looked pretty good for the A's. Maybe we can trade for him. And Michael Puma says, Marwin for new closer. Samantha T thinks they're losing on purpose. I doubt it. I doubt they're losing on purpose. I mean, you get kicked out of baseball for losing on purpose. But if you are telling me that they're giving 100%, no way. No way. Douglas Rao, great question. Douglas Rowell is like the MVP of great comments for 2 years running. He is always dropping great comments. So round of applause for you, Doug. He says, has a first place team ever fired their manager? That's a great question. It has to have happened, right? I know that in 2003, the Marlins fired their manager and hired Jack McKeon, and he led them to the World Series. But they weren't in first place. They ended up being a wild card team, and they were under 500 at the time that they fired him. That's a great question. Somebody Google that. Oh, Tony Mateo says Costanza in the building, and Jeremiah wants to fire the whole team. Joey Gallo says, I see all. Joey, I miss Joey Gallo now. I mean, look, ever since we traded him, we've been in the toilet. Maybe he was like the glue holding everything together. It's kind of like how right after Kobe Bryant died, the world went to shit. And there was all these memes about like, maybe Kobe was the glue holding it all together. Maybe Gallo was the glue holding everything together in the clubhouse. JV says Trey Turner's a free agent. But here's the deal. The Yankees have 100 shortstop prospects. They need some outfielders. Look, Hicks is awful. He had another tough night tonight. I don't even know if I want to pull up the box score. We'll take a look. But it's not pretty. It's just not pretty. So I was talking about Hicks. 1 for 3 tonight, hitting .219 with a .642 OPS. I have a hard time believing Jason Dominguez couldn't do that at 19. I have a hard time believing it. Look, the kid's been playing better. I'm not advocating 100% bringing him up, but look, you got to do better than what we have now. You got to try something new. How many guys we got hitting under 250 in this lineup tonight? Stanton hitting .219, Donaldson hitting .220, Hicks hitting .219, Torres .242. Rough. And then Banda, talk about throwing some gas on the fire. Just a really ugly box score. We're not going to look at this for too long. Landon says, there's no way Boone is making these lineups right. So I went over this with somebody on Twitter before the game. Justin Shackle reported several months ago, and Cashman has said this in interviews, and Boone has backed it up, that the analytics team, the front office, makes a recommendation each night for the lineup based on the stats, the percentages, all the doohickeys they got up there in their computers. But then Boone has conversations with folks that are on the ground, the players, the coaches, and fills out the lineup from there. So maybe the analytics says, start Rizzo tonight. But obviously you can't start Rizzo because he's not in the state of California. So I'm not saying the front office would even recommend that, but just making the point that I'm sure that they recommend things that they don't know. If somebody's got a bruised foot or a bad ankle or whatever, I'm sure that he's got the final say, but they're terrible. Steve Rickovicius says the boss would have fired Boone already. Jesus Vega tells the story. Says the Rays went 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and the Yankees went 0 for 8. That's really all it comes down to. The Yankees don't hit with runners in scoring position. And look, I was a fan of Dylan Lawson earlier this year. Obviously, the Yankees jumped out to a really good lead, and they were scoring tons of runs. The home runs were back. But the true measure of any coach isn't if you can get these guys going. These guys are professional athletes, professional hitters. They can get going. The question is, can you fix them when they're broken? Can you correct problems? And right now, the entire team is slumping at once, and they have been for 2 months, with the exception of Aaron Judge. And even he's had some dips here and there. They need to do something. They need to get, I don't know what it is, a closed door meeting. They've already had one of those. Slam the table again? I don't know. Maybe we can fire Marcus Timms again. Maybe we can fire Phil Nevin again. Maybe we can release Brett Gardner again. I don't know. Tough. Will Starr echoes what I'm feeling perfectly. He says, I can't even get mad anymore.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Sean Fell says, Gallo must have said a curse. Steve-O says, the Jamaican bobsled team could beat the Yankees right now. Hey, Zanka, you dead man. What a great movie. John Candy was so hilarious. I miss John Candy. One of those actors that everything he was in, I loved. Uncle Buck. I didn't really like Wagons East that much. But anyway, back to baseball. Fritz Walter says Rothschild is guilty. Oh, man. Look. Cool runnings. Earl of Demise dropping a stat in. Says 1 through 5 hitters were 0 for 16. 6 through 9 hitters 4 for 15. You got to get more than 4 hits in the game. I'm sorry. This offense is just atrocious. I'm out of words. I am taciturn. They have literally taken my words away to describe how bad this is. I'm letting you guys take over for a while. Frankie Baseball says, why was John Candy taken so soon? Lasagna. Too much lasagna. TJ Obermeyer says, this organization no longer has a sustainable winning culture, top to bottom.
Excellent.
Joe, I feel very Olympic today. I love that movie. Cool runnings. Home Alone, yeah. He was great in Home Alone. He has to drive back Kevin McAllister's mom. And they're doing polka the whole time. He was just such a fun guy. He made every movie better. Peter D. Rosa says, are they giving up the division on purpose? I don't think that's what they're doing.
It doesn't work that way.
I think they just are playing really shitty baseball. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Another John Candy. Great. I like the part where he spills beer all over the bed. He leaves beers on a vibrating bed and they explode. I mean, there's just so many great moments in that movie. Oh, I can't wait to watch that. You know, there's different movies that I watch every year at certain times of the year. And that's, to me, one of the few really good Thanksgiving movies. There's not a lot of great Thanksgiving movies, but John Candy. Let's hear it for John Candy. He was one of the first celebrities, maybe the first, that I knew of, that I was a fan of, that died. It was 1993, I think. Bad Brews says, Yankees will not win the division. You're most likely correct. Hi 12397 says, don't worry, Derek. We'll turn the corner. Great Outdoors. Another one, Aiden. With Dan Aykroyd. Great vacation movie. Another one. I watch it pretty much every summer. All right, guys. Let's get a few more comments. I'm seeing most of everything that's coming in is John Candy related, which I'm not unhappy about because it's better than talking about this game. Mark Stanruse says, we need Matt Carpenter back. Where is old Matt Carpenter? Last I heard, he was in a boot. This was yesterday. That he's going to be with the team this weekend in Tampa. He's riding around on a scooter. So he fits right in with the Yankees.
Yeah, baby.
Hirsch for real. Rodney Dangerfield fan. Let me see if I can do this. I used to be able to do a pretty good Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I told my dentist my teeth were getting yellow. He told me to wear a brown tie. Oh, I get no respect. I give myself the laugh track there. Bob Crowley says, this is the beginning of the end. That's why we're having such a good time in here. You laugh to keep from crying. Lou Rom says, Cashman broke the momentum that we once had. I mean, the Monty trade seemed to be like a gut punch. I was feeling pretty good about things up until then. But I mean, Domingo Germán has pitched pretty well. Frankie Montas hasn't, but that didn't really have anything to do with Monty. Talleyrand says, belt goes to Cashman. Yikes. Yikes. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. I appreciate you joining me, even though this was such a tough loss. Look, the Yankees got to win the next two. You can't get swept, and you've got to win this series. Will they be able to do it? I don't know. I doubt it. I really highly doubt it. But at least we get Oswald Peraza in there for a full game tomorrow. So thanks to everybody who joined. I'll see you when I see you.